It's good, y'all. Bob Gnarly. So, I was just doing some deep thinking. And, oh, that's a cool hat. Oh, never mind. That's lame. But, I don't know. Just some shit's been happening in my life that's been triggering me to think about some shit. And, it's just like too much, you know what I'm saying? So I finally decided to cut some people off. Buddy, come on. And there are people who weren't even really a part of my life for a long time. So me cutting them off didn't make much of a difference. But yeah, I just want to kind of go into depth on that and hopefully help one of the people watching this wake up and take control of their friendships and relationships. This applies to significant others, family members, friends. It all kind of meshes on this common ground that I'm going to touch on today. I'm not going to go too into like the details, but basically what I'm going to be talking about is choosing who you fuck with and how that can impact on what level you fuck with yourself, because in a way choosing who you fuck with is having respect for yourself. And I don't know, I've just been, like I said, coming to a lot of realizations lately, and it took me this long, so I'm hoping I can save somebody the trouble going through what I went through. So essentially what I'm saying is, I'll say it exactly like I said it on my Snapchat story. If I fuck with you, there's a good reason. If I don't fuck with you, there's a good reason. So I see a lot of people out here who fuck with people for no reason. People who don't even know why they roll with the people they roll with. Or I see people who don't even know why they don't like certain people. And it's very important to make that linkage in your mind, because if you don't, it's a bad habit to get into. Fucking with or not fucking with people for no reason. It's a lack of respect for yourself. And I saw a significant change in the quality of my life when I decided to start fucking with people for good reasons, or not fucking with people for good reasons. And as soon as I enacted this principle into my life, there are a few people who naturally gravitated out of my life on my terms. I decided to start fucking with people only if I have a good reason, and naturally I gravitated away from people, and those are people that you don't need in your life anyways. Because if you've been fucking with somebody for this long and they haven't given you a good reason to keep fucking with them, then why are you fucking cool with them? Okay? Like, or if you don't like somebody and they haven't yet given you a good reason not to like them, then what's the reason? I have a lot of people with animosity towards me that I can feel even from 300 miles away. When I'm living in Tennessee or I'm in Ohio, I can feel the animosity people have towards me. from the people who do. Or I can feel the people who have love for me. And I never have to clarify whether or not we're cool, if we're really cool. Or I don't have to clarify if we have problems, if we really fucking have problems for a good reason. And if we do, I would like to settle it. Because everybody's time's ticking down, man. We don't have forever. And you don't want to go out of this world with any unresolved issues. That's how we get stuck in a rut in the afterlife. And I'm not going to go too deep into that because that's speculative or whatever. It's speculation. But I'm just trying to like help some of y'all realize if you're fucking with the wrong people or the right people, because I've also had the right people all around me. I've been surrounded with all the right people and fucked it up because I wasn't being conscious of why I fucked with them so heavy, or why they fucked with me so heavy, and what makes them great friends. And if you have an understanding of that, and you're conscious of what makes your friends good friends, or what makes your enemies, then you're in a good place mentally, honestly, because if you are appreciative of the reasons why you have good friends and what makes them good friends, you won't fuck them over. It's impossible. I'm fully convinced if you're completely aware of all the things that make your friendship special, that you're incapable of doing them wrong. And all the times I've done my friends wrong was when I lost sight of that and what originally made me start fucking with them. So, see, like, for example, this took place in 2016, the story I'm about to tell. So, I just got back from Tennessee with two of my very good friends. We moved to Ohio together. And, they were ready to, like, try to start a life in my hometown. And, like, just, like, I wanted to be home. So they were willing to uproot from their hometown in Tennessee, which they had never left, and come live with me in Ohio, just because they wanted to be with me. Not like we all wanted to be together, you know, like we were a great trio. So that was the plan. I fucked it up, but that's aside from the point right now. So we moved back to Ohio, and some of my hometown friends here in Ohio, or some of my old friends, were like, yo, you're back in Ohio, like, let's smoke some weed. And I'm like, hell yeah. I'm at home, like, Josh and Tyler moved back with me, and they're like, oh, well, can we just smoke with you, because that'll be too many heads on the blunt. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool, like, I get it, you know, everybody's struggling financially at our age, so what little weed we can get is, and I asked them, and they said it was cool, you know. I had some weed, so I was still gonna smoke with my friends, but yeah, so my Ohio friends told me not to bring my Tennessee friends, to leave them at my mom's house in the basement while I smoke with them. So it's pretty typical. I'm with my Ohio friends, and they're like, hey, will you roll up? Because they don't like to do anything. They just want me to, like, roll up and do everything, even light the blunt for them, like, put it in their fucking mouth and light it, like. So I rolled the blunt. They gave me, like, the weed, and I rolled the blunt, and I handed it back, and they both looked at each other, and they're like, this is really small, like, did you take some of the weed out of it? Well, I don't think they specifically said, did you take, they're like, I gave you way more weed than this, like, I gave you a whole gram. But this weed was so fucking dense. Like, one nug was like that. And I was unable to break it up into powder. It was one of those blunts where it's like tiny little chunks like that big. And I could tell from that day forward, they just tried to play me like I was suspect, like I was skept. Like, they just, from that day forward, treated me like I was a fucking like a thief or some I don't fucking know what the fuck they thought, but like they were jealous of like how strong our bond was, me and Tyler and Josh. So they saw that it's even stronger than ours was at any point in time. And in such a short amount of time, we got that close. So they were jealous about that, I feel like. They knew I wouldn't fucking take the weed. Like, I've never done some shit like that ever, nor would I ever do that to one of, like, really anybody, but let alone some of my very closest friends at one point. And they were. But after that day, I kept fucking with them. It was fucked up. I don't know why I did it, but just recently, I started thinking about that heavy that day when they did that to me. And I'm just gonna be honest, one of those friends who accused me of that also was fucking around with my girlfriend while I was in Tennessee, my ex-girlfriend in Ohio. And I still fucked with him for so fucking long after that. Like, it's so stupid. I'm so stupid for that. But now I get it. I can't go back to being the way I was. You know, now that I've seen these things, I can't unsee them. And I just hope that all of you get to see what I saw. And realize that you have to choose who you fuck with, and as a result start gravitating away from the people who you shouldn't be fucking with, and gravitate towards the people who are good for you. And that is how it works. I don't want to get like all pseudo-scientific and shit, but that really is true. You attract who you fuck with. Are these Ray-Bans? Nah, I'm paying them on Jack. That's lame. So yeah, I guess that's about it. It's really bothering me that it took me this long to realize that I shouldn't be fucking with them. And all it took was me having a conversation with my higher self. And this is me trying to play the part of your higher self to you and have this conversation with you, so you don't have to go fucking take a bunch of shrooms and then smoke DMT on the peak to get these insights, because you don't. I can feed what I've learned from my traumatic psychedelic experiences to the masses and prevent them from having to do it themselves. That would make my life complete, honestly. Because I wouldn't wish what I've been through upon anybody. And I understand a lot of people have been through some shit that they would never wish upon me or anybody. You know, like, I'm not trying to like say like, oh, I've been through some worse shit than anybody else. Like, nah, my life's been pretty easy, to be honest, compared to some. I mean, I've been homeless, I've been a drug addict. It's shitty, but it can always be worse, you know? But just trying to make the most out of the suffering I've endured and help y'all grow from it too. I guess that's all. Love y'all. Peace.